Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
And earlier tonight, we watched the number 1 overall seed continue to be a wagon, notching their 17th win by 20 or more points. That is the most in college basketball. Notching their 10th win by 30 or more points. That's second most in college basketball. Can you name who has the most? They're still in this field.
10th more by
10th win by 30 or more. Only one team has more in college basketball.
Gonzaga.
No. A great guess.
Houston.
It's Houston. It's Houston. UConn 82-52. They beat San Diego State.
Yeah.
This was a 9-point game at halftime, and then Brian Dutcher's team just wore down to what has been a freight train. Jeff, are we watching one of the great teams now at 34-3 ever?
No, I'm not ready to say that. But if they repeat, then you can put them in the discussion. Certainly, if they repeat in this era, and this era is different, right? The talent level isn't what it was when you're going to compare them to even Florida, the last team that repeated, those Duke teams that had NBA players, pros. But this year is different because, again, Dan Hurley had to navigate the portal this year. He had to navigate guys like Adama Sanogo, leaving when he's not going to be an NBA player, leaving early. He added Cam Spencer. He's had a perfect mix. He says he's got the formula, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe him that he's got the formula?
I mean,
what is the formula?
The formula is finding the guys that fit into what you want to do.
Like, what does that
mean?
mean?
To make threes and
right.
Finding some guys who are frankly crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is a good thing.
Look, let's call it what it is. Okay. They went after Nick Timberlake pretty hard.
Right.
And if they got
the formula wouldn't have worked that way.
Got Nick Timberlake and they didn't get Cam Spencer, I think we're looking at a team that probably caps out around somewhere in the second weekend.
Yeah,
right? They still be really good. They wouldn't be this good because Cam Spencer's been All-America good for most of the season. But I don't think we kind of appreciate enough just like the level of dominance that this team has. Like it's not like they go on these massive runs, right? There's some teams that win a lot of games because they'll have one stretch where they make 4 or 5 threes in the span of 5 minutes, and all of a sudden a game that was close goes to a 15-point game. There's nothing you could do. That was last season's UConn with Jordan Hawkins and those guys. This team they just wear you down. Like the perfect example to me is the first half. That San Diego State team's a really good team. Right, they won 20-something games. They have an All-American at the 5. They really know how to guard. Like they're a top 25 team in America.
Yeah, that's fine.
And UConn played a pretty bad first half of basketball. They couldn't make a shot around the basket. Right, they couldn't make a layup. They had some turnovers. They gave up some open looks on the defense.
Donovan Clingan couldn't have scored over John Fan.
They were like 10 for.
First half.
I think they were 9 for 24 at the rim in the first half. And they go into the break. And I think if you looked at it and said, okay, if we're San Diego State, all of the stuff that we want to have happen happened, right? And you probably feel pretty good about the way that you played in that first.
It could have went down like 6.
And you looked up and you're down 40-31.
Yeah.
And you're like, we played well, and we're down by 9, and they haven't even played well yet. And you're just waiting for that. It's not. Last year's UConn was like you were waiting for the avalanche to come, right? This year's UConn is like trying to push a boulder up a hill. You just know eventually it's going to roll down and squash.
Yeah. It's
a great way to say it.
That's one of Duster's best lines. Maybe I don't know, one of 5 good lines he's ever had, but that was a great one.
So,
that was a great one.
It feels like how dominant this team is. Like they've won 9 straight tournament games by double digits. Like, what are we even talking about?
Not double digits. They've won 9 tournament games by an average of around 23 points per game.
Yeah, like, what are we talking about here?
These are laughers. Crazy. In the second half of these games, your attention is you get bored.
How about this?
I'm bored watching them right now. I mean that is a compliment.
How about this for a stat? They've played 60 minutes of second half basketball in this tournament. They've been winning by double digits in 58 minutes and 27 of those seconds.
It's absurd. It's absurd. And I think that the thing for me is Cam Spencer feels like he was born a Connecticut Husky. Dan Hurley said tonight that they're like Bonnie and Clyde together. I mean, and by the way, Hurley has now reached all-time. We have Hurley in just seconds. We're teasing Dan Hurley. He's reached an all-time level of just sort of he's just enjoying the hell out of this ride. He's saying whatever he wants.
Because he knows he's got a a squad.
Yeah.
So he can.
The best in the country.
Now, I will say this. Dan Hurley at St. Benedict's was the same damn way. But nobody cared. Nobody knew about him then. Like, when I would talk to him when he was at St. Benedict's, when I would go to Wagner and see him, it was the same Dan Hurley. It's just same crazy-ass Dan Hurley. It's just now everybody's paying attention.
It's just, to me, it's the connection between Tristan Newton and Cam Spencer. They're opposites in how they play and how they conduct themselves.
Sure.
Newton is Mr. Cool Hand Luke. He shows no emotion, doesn't say a word. Spencer, if you gave him a look or you hit a shot over him and pop a shot, he would go.
What did he do tonight?
He would go legitimately crazy at you because he's so wired to compete. I mean, I lost to the guy in a horse competition in October for a preseason shoot. He hasn't stopped reminding me that I owe him ice cream. Dude, it was 7 months ago. Like, go get your chocolate chip on your own, for heaven's sake.
You make enough NIL, Kim. You can afford.
You want a brownie? I've got a gluten-free brownie that's on the floor of TD Garden right now. I mean,
look, the last thing I'll add today.
No, he's coming with more goodies for you.
Oh, God.
He feels bad about the gluten-free brownie.
I think he might throw a bag of chips at me.
Those are good chips too, by the way. Don't waste those.
And Norlander, pull up your pants.
The last thing I want to add to that, fan, and then we can get to the interview with Hurley, is the thing that's the most impressive about it to me is that he's been able to find all these guys to buy in to what is, I think you can make an argument, probably the most intense practice.
But he makes it fun.
Well, hold on.
Makes it fun.
Hold on. It's the most intense practices that you can run in, that you can find, right? You have a coach who is an absolute psychotic mess dealing with like germophobia and dealing with like good luck and bad luck stuff and like losing his mind during losing his mind on the bitch. It's not easy to be on that roster, right? And the fact that he's been able to back-to-back years go out and find pieces that buy into what he wants to do, gets them on the same page, coaches the hell out of them, coaches them as hard as anybody in the country, and they're all still as connected and tight and close. Like, the culture that he's been able to build there, I don't think that gets enough recognition because that is not easy to do in this.
But it comes down to having one of the best staffs in the country as well. I mean, you have the guy who brings the old with the new in the program, and Tom Moore. He connects everybody.
Shout out to Tom Moore.
Yeah,
shout out to Tommy Moore.
Right. You have Kamani Young, who's a stud and a great recruiter and knows talent, and you have Luke Murray, who's ready to be a head coach as well. And he's
breaking the game down with his dad over there, Bill Murray, courtside.
Right.
The second game.
The best month of the year is here, which is why you need to know that we are partnered with BetMGM. We'll be using BetMGM lines for making all of our picks and predictions, and we'll have special offers for the listeners and the viewers of the Field of 68. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, you can use bonus code FIELD, and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's the best part. All you need to do is deposit and bet $10 of your hard-earned money to get it. This is what you have to do to make it work. Download the BetMGM app and sign up using that bonus code FIELD. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. You'll get up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Most importantly, we have some fun stuff coming up for the rest of the NCAA tournament. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odds boost, and the thing that I love the most, a nice little parlay boost, as well as a ridiculous array of prop bets for anything that you could possibly imagine betting on. From odds on getting to the Final Four to national championship futures, I'm calling it right now. BetMGM is the king of the prop bet. So go download the BetMGM app. Use that code FIELD and sign up today. And while I've got you, a quick request. The best way to support the Field of 68 content you get for free is to engage with us. Rate and review the pod in any podcast app. Like and share the YouTube videos that you enjoy. Tell your friends about us. It all helps in a world where the algorithm is king. And now, back to the show.